Chapter 1. Rae. 2 months later. The scent of freshly baked pie wafts through the bakery as I wipe down the counter for what feels like the 100th time this afternoon. It's slow, which isn't unusual at this time of day. With Alpine Ridge getting more traffic these days, most folks come in first thing in the morning to snap up Mia's most popular goodies. But that makes for a boring closing shift and gives me too much time to think about the visit to my mama I have planned later, and the pile of laundry waiting for me at home afterward. The bell above the door chimes, and I look up, ready to paste on my best customer service smile. But as soon as I see who it is, the smile dies on my lips. Jerry. The crusty old bastard I worked for most of my life, until Mia came along with a better offer. We've got history, Jerry and I, but it's at best lukewarm, and at worst, well, I try not to think about that. Either way, I sure don't miss his grimy tavern, and I don't miss Jerry. His eyes move around the tables, checking to see who's here. In his usual plaid shirt and faded jeans, he looks as out of place in Mia's cheerful bakery as a vulture at a garden party. Without a word, I turn on my heel and march into the back room, where Mia is pulling the pie I smelled earlier out of the oven. Am I allowed to refuse service to people? I ask, my voice tight. Mia raises an eyebrow and purses her lips, setting the tray on the cooling rack. To who? Why? Jerry? I reply without further explanation. She knows why. Partially, at least. Enough, anyway. Mia's expression softens into a knowing, sympathetic grimace. No need. I can serve him. Or... She chews on her lip. Nervous as to what she has in that devious, intelligent mind of hers, I pop my hands on my hips and look at her expectantly. Or you could just have it out with him. Alpine Ridge is a small town, Rae. You can't avoid him forever. I blink, surprised. You're telling me I can give him a piece of my mind, even though he's a customer? Mia shrugs. Why not? You've been holding on to this anger for a while now. It might do you some good to let it out. If he doesn't like it, he can go buy prepackaged pastries at the grocery store. A slow smile spreads across my face. And not just because, after striking a deal recently with the owner, said prepackaged pastries are also from Mia's bakery, so she gets his money either way. But because she's got a point. It's about damn time I let him know what I think of his latest bullshit. I'm not sure why I held back so long, now that she's pointed it out. Especially now that I'm being encouraged to do it. You know what? You're right. Thanks, sugar. She sets the pie on a cooling rack and gives me a teasing salute. I march back out to the front, squaring my shoulders as I approach the counter where Jerry stands, examining the pastry case with feigned interest. Well, well, well. I drawl, crossing my arms. Look what the cat dragged in. Jerry's head snaps up, his bushy eyebrows rising in surprise. You've got some nerve showing up here, I continue, not allowing him to speak. After lying to me and everyone else in this town, pretending to be on a town council that didn't even exist yet, and then you had the audacity to run for mayor. Now you waltz in here like nothing happened? Jerry's weather-beaten face creases into a frown.
Now, Rachel and Donovan.
Don't you full name me Jeremiah James Allen. I cut him off, shaking my head. Honestly, what kind of parent gives their child 3 first names? And I wasn't finished. You know what really gets me? That you had the balls to come in here at all. Did you think we'd forgotten? And don't even get me started on the petition signatures that were stolen. I know you had something to do with that. To my surprise, Jerry's shoulders slump.
I didn't come here to cause trouble, Rae. I came to apologize.
I fold my arms over my chest and fix him with a skeptical look. Apologize? You? He nods, his eyes meeting mine.
You were the best bartender and server I ever had. A loyal employee.
I scoff. Of course, Jerry only thinks of me as an employee, even after all these years. But he continues, undeterred by my obvious disdain.
I shouldn't have tricked you or anyone else like that. I understand why people didn't want me as mayor.
He lets out a breath.
And I swear I didn't steal the signatures. But I may know who did.
He huffs out a defeated sigh. My eyebrows fly up, not having expected him to admit anything. And? I prompt. He fidgets, avoiding my gaze.
Look, I'm not here to go throwing anyone else under the bus. Let's just say it was someone who thought it would impress me.
His eyes meet mine.
And it most certainly did not. I'm real sorry it came to that, and I'm glad the town is getting what it needs now, even if I'm not in charge.
I stare at him, waiting for the punchline. When it doesn't come, I narrow my eyes. Are you pulling my leg?
No, I'm not.
Jerry says, his voice gruff but sincere.
I know we've had some bad blood in the past, but I'm too old for that kind of shit anymore.
He looks up at the ceiling.
I'm sorry, Rae.
I blow out a disbelieving breath. Well, all right then. I forgive you, I guess. I furrow my brow, still skeptical. Jerry has never apologized, despite having done far worse. He nods contritely.
Good.
He pauses, as if hesitant to go on, before doing exactly that.
I was also hoping to speak to Mia about selling her pastries at the tavern. People, well, they miss having your huckleberry pie after a meal.
Ah, there it is. Jerry is eating crow so people can eat my pie, or my great Graham's pie, as it were. Though, as false as his apology now seems, I have to admit I'm glad he's at least willing to cop to his mistakes, even if he only did it to shut people up about the pie. It's more than I would have thought him capable of, anyway. I take a deep breath, letting some of the tension ease from my shoulders. Well, I'll be damned. I never thought I'd see the day Jerry Allen apologized. A ghost of a smile flickers across Jerry's face.
Yeah, well, don't get used to it.
I snort. Wouldn't dream of it. I jerk my thumb towards the back. I'll go get Mia for you. As I head to the back room once again, I can't help but shake my head. Miracles really happen. If only they could erase more than some stupid political bullshit. Because despite his apology, I was only partially mad because of his latest stunt. All the ones before? Well, I may forgive, but I don't forget. By the time my shift ends, all I want is to go home and collapse into bed. But it's Sunday, which means my standing date with Mama. I swing by the grocery store, still not used to how much nicer it is since the renovation last fall, picking up the usual supplies. TV dinners, because Lord knows Mama won't cook for herself. Some fresh fruit, which I'll probably end up eating myself next week before it goes bad. Dinner fixings, and a box of her favorite tea. The drive to Mama's little house on the outskirts of town is as familiar as breathing. I pull into the cracked driveway, noting it needs shoveling and salting again. Driving on it is nothing my Bronco can't handle, but if Mama needs to go out, her old Toyota Corolla isn't going to be able to. Add that to the list of things to take care of next week. Thankfully, it's almost March, so winter will be on its way out soon. Mama? I call as I let myself in. It's me. In here, sugar, comes the reply from the living room. I find her in her usual spot, curled up in her recliner with a romance novel in her lap. Pamela Donovan might be pushing 70, but she still has a girlish glint in her eye when it comes to her bodice rippers. I cast a quick eye over the shabby furniture, noting that the crocheted blanket covering her chair could use a washing. But not much else has changed. It all still looks the same as it has my whole life. 70s pinks and browns and all. How are you feeling today? I ask, bending to kiss her cheek. "Oh, same old, she says. "How was work?" As I bustle around the kitchen, putting away groceries and starting dinner, I fill her in on the day's events, including Jerry's surprise visit. "Well, I'll be," Mama says, shaking her head. "Wonders never cease." Indeed, I agree. Oh, and they fixed that pothole on Main Street. The new transportation department is getting things done. I hear tell they're working on setting up police and fire departments next. "Never thought I'd see this place come back to life," Mama remarks, setting aside her book to set the table, as usual. "Me neither, but I'm proud to be a part of it," I respond. Even though Joni did most of the work on the incorporation paperwork, and Carrie handled the election process, it was nice to be part of the team, organizing events and having a say in how it all came together. And though the rest of it is out of my hands now, it's still exciting to see our efforts pay off as our tiny town gets the services it has so desperately needed for years. We eat dinner together, a simple meal of grilled chicken, rice, and vegetables, with enough leftovers to last her until my next visit. As I tidy up the house, Mama settles back into her chair, flipping on the TV to reruns of her favorite game show. I join her on the couch, handing over a plastic container of her favorite peach crumble, left over from the bakery. As I dive into my portion, my mind drifts as Alex Trebek's voice fills the room. It has been an almost typical day, save Jerry's abrupt change of heart. But I'm pleased with all the positive changes that came with the town's incorporation. And I'm glad Jerry came to his senses, so I could bury that particular hatchet with the old bastard. I can't say I respect him, after everything we've been through, and especially all those years of pretending to be something he wasn't, just for a power trip. But at least we'll be able to be civil to each other from now on. Hell, we've found our way around worse over the years. Once Mama falls asleep in her chair, I do a final cleanup, gently kiss her forehead, and cover her with a blanket. Then I head back to my house, just off the other end of Main Street. I open the door to darkness, but even with the lights on, the small 2-bedroom home feels empty and forlorn. It's cozy enough, I suppose, with its mismatched thrifted furniture and colorful, though cheaply framed art hanging on the walls. But I sure miss having Carrie living here. She wasn't here long, but we became close. But she's happy in one of the new townhouses Greg's cousin built last year, and it's probably best she's got her own place, now that she and Evan are together. Lord knows, I don't need the constant reminder of what good sex sounds like. I sigh, setting my things down and collecting all the laundry of the past week, dumping it into the ancient washer and starting it up. A step I always forget before leaving for work. Now I'll be up late. Resigned, I settle into my old, saggy couch and grab the fantasy book I'm reading. Mama may like her romance, but I prefer to disappear into another world for a while. Give me epic heroes, impossible quests, and mythical creatures. But then, both take you into their own worlds, I suppose. I just like being as far away from reality as possible. Somewhere I don't have to pretend that watching everyone around me find love and settle down doesn't hurt. Who knew it was possible to be bursting with happiness for someone else's joy and desperately sad and lonely at the same time? But that's me and my big old soft heart. Too many emotions for my own good sometimes. But we can't all get swept off our feet like Mia and her handsome doctor with the body of a fitness model. Or like Joni with her rugged secret millionaire. Or like Carrie with her famous movie star boyfriend who gave up his glamorous life to be with her. But I'm 46, and I've been through the ringer a time or three, and I know not everyone gets their happy ending. Even if there were any men for me in Alpine Ridge, which, after having lived here most of my life, I can definitely say there are not. I've been through enough to know that not everyone finds their soulmate. My ex-husband sure wasn't mine. And my father left my mama. She's the best woman I know. Loving, beautiful in her day, beautiful still, inside and out. If she can't make it work, there truly are no guarantees in this life. Though it's not like mine is bad. I've got Mama, a group of friends I love, and my own interests that I'm free to pursue. Most of the time, I'm content. But sometimes, despite knowing how wrong things can go, I just want more. So, apparently, I'm also a glutton for punishment.
You can listen to the rest of the book in the Tempt Romance audiobooks app, available on the App Store and Google Play. The link to the book is in the description. Discover even more bestsellers and exclusive stories updated weekly, only in Tempt Romance audiobooks.